got the window open all of a sudden?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Turned on a fan.
I got a fan on.
Yeah, that's what the fan is.
I can turn it. I can. Let me just check to see if it's
Is it oscillating? Is it an oscillating fan?
No.
Because then it would only be a problem like
half the time.
Dude, that's actually an old joke. David and we have been having that sort of joke for a while.
Is it bad? Because I can
no,
turn
I don't
it down.
hear it now.
No, I don't hear it now. Yeah,
I don't hear it anymore.
I haven't touched it.
Well,
maybe
awesome.
we just got used to it. Yeah,
maybe you got we just got used to it. Maybe you've got the Force or something. It's the pre-show where we're talking about what we're gonna do on the show.
The Force, use the Force, Luke.
The Schwartz.
The Schwartz.
Use the Schwartz.
Very soon you'll be able to use the Havoc staff.
Still waiting on that sequel.
Yeah, the Schwartz. They're never gonna do it. Mel Brooks is like 155 years old.
They'll never do it. They'll never do it.
Spaceballs 3: The Quest for Episode 2.
It's actually a dope title, man, and they could play it off all meta. That'd actually be pretty rad. So I don't know if Taylor's gonna make it. I'm sure he'll be here. He might be here.
Where is Taylor?
Comics kind of sucked this week, but I watched.
They kind of did.
I watched a lot of TV, a lot of movies, new movies, new TV, great stuff. In the news, that I'll talk about all that in segment 1, where we just shoot the shit. Anyway, kind of like what we're doing here, but we have a goal here. Lots of merch this week.
Make money.
Galactus.
Oh yeah,
$200
Galactus. $200 Galactus. $400 Galactus.
$400.
Are we talking about like? Are we talking about like the HasLab?
Yeah, HasLab Galactus. Steam Deck. We'll mention it and talk about as much as we want to that.
Oh yeah, sure. If you want.
2 new horror titles from DC. The 5th Captain America from that United States Captain America has been revealed. Another Batman comic from DC.
Why not?
And Frog Thor is coming back. And that'll lead us right into Loki news. Loki talk. Last episode of Loki. For season 1, anyway. There is season 2 coming.
There is season 2. That is news.
Yeah, now what I'm hearing is that they were actually going to do one long 12-episode season, but the pandemic sort of cut it in half and they had to split it up.
That would make sense.
It makes sense. I don't know if it's true, but hey.
I don't know if it's true either because, I mean, the other shows were short as well.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
But I mean, it does make sense.
Yeah, Food News has a great nerd angle, literally, this week. Moment of Destruction. We got a lot of stuff there. I got some behind the scenes of Beast Wars. We got Transformers 32 and a new figure. A new Shattered Glass figure. What?
Oh, I know who this is.
Oh, Dave knows. Dave's got his fingers on the pulse of the toy industry. And then, we'll talk comics. It was kind of shitty comics. But, man, one was heads and shoulders above the rest for me, at least this week. But anything else?
Shitty?
No, great. Head and shoulders in a pile of dung. What else do we want to add to that, guys?
You already brought up the DC horror book. I would like to talk about one title in particular.
Those 2 that were announced, or
the one that I sent the link to. Is that one
I don't
of the
remember
2?
what that was. Come on, man.
The Soul Plumber one.
Oh, I don't have that one.
It's
Those
in
aren't
the
2.
Okay, well, I want to talk about that.
We go out and get fucking information.
See, this is why I don't bring
information.
news. This is why I don't bring news, so you don't have to go look stuff up.
I got the link.
I'm doing you a service.
Soul Plumber is actually bringing up a lot of addresses for actual plumbers. So let me add to my search.
Go into the messenger and just click the link that I left.
No, I'm just gonna get. All you want
DC.
is the cover, right? All I need is
you
the
get
cover.
all the plumbers in the DC area.
Yeah. All right, here's the DC Comics.
Plumbers.
Yeah. All right, there's a couple of covers, so I'll grab those.
I only know of the one that they showed. Maybe the 2. There's 2.
Let me steal these covers then.
Okay.
Anything else that we want to add?
Well, I thought that horror title, one of the Soul Plumbers horror title, was one of the 2 DC titles you wanted to talk about.
It's not.
No, he was talking about the vampires and the other book,
there's
right?
A couple of them.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll lead off. Well, I don't know. Do we want to lead off with that?
Yeah.
We'll lead off with David's stupid.
My
edition.
stupid stuff.
You're making me do work here at the last minute, and I hate working.
I didn't make
Especially
you
at the
do
last
work here at the
minute. You
last
did.
minute. I sent it like Wednesday.
I
He
don't
did.
remember
He
that.
did send it on Wednesday,
Quit
and you
defending
did
him.
say
We'll talk about it.
he would
yeah.
include it on the show.
You did say we
Now that
will
you
talk
actually-
about it.
Yeah. Now that you've actually added some of the specifics, the details of the moment, yeah, I do remember that now.
I posted
Awesome.
the link.
You're forgiven,
I posted
Dave.
the link,
Sorry.
and you said, "Yeah, that's on the list for Sunday."
Sorry, it was too. All right, so yeah, Taylor's still not here. We'll see what happens. Maybe check your messenger, Dave. See if he's gotten there. But oh yeah, we're gonna do this thing.
There
Let's
are
do
no
it.
new messages.
Well, there was a bad storm going through Nashville. He may be without.
That might be
Some
true.
problem.
That might be possible. I mean, yeah.
Well, let's get into the show. It's 7. It's right on time this week.
Right on time. Shoot. Hype train.
I'm pretty sure his mic cut out because he went so loud.
This is bad comedy.
It's true, Galvatron.
Thank you.
It's true,
Thank you,
Galvatron.
Leonard Nimoy.
He's missed. He is so missed. Miss Leonard Nimoy. Man, I watched
Especially
so
when he's
much.
talking shit on David.
Oh, right. Can't wait for segment 1 this week. I watched so much. I did. I watched so much. Greetings, geeks. Welcome back. Another episode of This Geek in Comics. Outright Geeker's comic book shit talk show.
Shit talk show.
We're Adam Normal, aka David. Taylor's somewhere around here.
He's on special assignment.
We don't know where. How's everyone's week?
So far, so good.
It's
been all right,
over,
man.
man. How was your week? What did you do? Anything cool this week? Did you watch anything? Do anything that was worth mentioning? I worked.
No, man.
I-
The only thing I really watched new is I watched the third Fear Street.
Oh man, let's
course.
talk about Fear Street.
Let's talk about Fear Street. It's been a really fun trilogy. What's really fun about it is the release strategy of it. The once a week almost kind of like a TV show,
like a mini series,
like a mini series. Yeah, definitely. But they were all a lot of fun. I wouldn't say they're the best things in the world, but for what they were a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I like
had
to
a
see something
great
like this
time.
in the future. Yeah.
Hi, Taylor.
Hey Taylor. Taylor,
Hey, what's
did
up,
make
T?
it.
Hey guys,
Did you watch Fear Street, Taylor?
I did not watch Fear Street.
Did you watch anything this weekend? Did you do anything cool?
No, I've just been playing D&D and video games the whole weekend.
Oh, that's
so
fun. That's fun.
nerdy
We have-
stuff, but nothing you haven't
Yeah.
heard before. So
We have news about that in both of those things.
Oh,
You missed the
well.
pre-show, so it'll be just a surprise to you too. I'm very excited.
I get to experience this alongside the audience.
Yeah, it's really
real fun.
meta. It's really
Yay.
meta. It's awesome. But yeah, Fear Street was excellent. Everybody should watch it. It's 3 movies. They're all available now on Netflix. They all link together. They all have characters who cross over, and it's real. I think it's really smart. The big thing at the end, the reveal at the end was, it's
It is
kinda-
what. Yeah.
it was kind of, you could tell what was going to happen.
Oh, definitely.
But it still worked out because of the relationships that they had built. So yeah, check out Fear Street. Gunpowder Milkshake. Anybody watch Gunpowder Milkshake?
No, that's
Sorry.
on my list tonight.
It's
I've been meaning to
rad.
watch that. Yeah,
It's like a neon noir sort of thing. It's
Is
while
that
I was
Cersei with the Winchester?
It is.
yeah. Yeah, it's Karen Gillan, Lena Headey, Freya Allen, Carla Gugino, Michelle Yeoh, Angela Bassett, also Chloe Coleman, who's a child actress who was in his eye. Yeah, it's like neon noir, it's hyper violent. It was solid. It is what it is. It's a Netflix movie. It's exactly what you'd expect it to be. That's going to be a theme of the next movie I'm going to talk about as well. But yeah, it was fun. And then Space Jam. Who did,
Space Jam.
did no one else watch Space Jam? What are you
No, I
guys
have
doing
not
all
watched
fucking
Space
week?
Jam yet.
Working.
I'm working too. This is exactly what you'd expect from a movie starring a basketball player and 80-year-old cartoon characters. If you go into it with those expectations, it's a fun Easter egg hunt. It's everything sort of crosses over. Everything WB that you could fucking imagine crosses over. My favorite was Wile E. Coyote.
So that is
That
from
was
the
me.
movie itself.
That is
That
from
is.
the movie. All right. Don Cheadle is the bad guy, right? And what he does is he goes to like where Bugs Bunny and all the Toons live, that part of the world. And when LeBron James is sucked into this weird Tron/Matrix scenario to find his son, who he's disconnected with and has to reconnect with.
So the story of all basketball players most of the
exactly.
time.
When he goes to the Toon world, the Toon universe, they're all gone because Don Cheadle's like, hey, man, there's all these other universes hanging around here that you should go check out.
So Don Cheadle is the ticket to the multiverse now.
Yes, to the crisis, which LeBron fixes with basketball. That's the best crisis we've had in at least 15 years. This does cross over with Wonder Woman in the best way, right?
Oh, gosh.
They go to Themyscira. Like Bugs and LeBron are going and getting the team back together, right? So they go to all of these different places, which is really cool. You know, you get to see all these different versions of LeBron James, and then Bugs Bunny is there making fun of him. It's actually really good.
Was Bugs Bunny in an Amazon Warrior outfit?
Yeah, no, not really. But they go to the Themyscira, and it like becomes a comic book.
Oh, that's cool.
Like there's panels, and yeah, dude. Rosario Dawson is doing Wonder Woman's voice just like she does in the DC animated universe. It was really cool for them to throw that aspect in there. I felt as like a comic book fan, I felt like they're throwing all this nerdy shit together. It's cool that I'm represented.
I'll probably go check this out in a matinee sometime this next week. I do think it looks like it'll be, not necessarily great, but, fun.
Yeah, it's not great. But if you go in with low expectations, you're going to have a great time.
It's on HBO Plus, so
yeah, it's on HBO Max.
It on that,
I've been watching it on that. I watched it on that. Yeah. Finally, Ted Lasso. We got the free week of Apple TV because Emmys, like this thing is nominated for 20 Emmys. Dude, it's pretty cool, dude. Jason Sudeikis, obviously, he's an American football Division II championship coach, and he is hired to manage in the British Premier League because the now divorced owner wants to stick it to her ex-husband because he really loves the team. So it's kind of got like a major league feel to it, right? Because of that. But it's got a lot more heart. All the characters are a lot deeper, and you kind of feel for all of them. You see, both sides because they're vulnerable people.
The thing I hear over and over again about this show is that it's wholesome as shit.
It is. Yeah, it is, dude. But it's really Jason Sudeikis' character of Ted Lasso, right? He's just this super optimistic about everything. It's fucking weird, Like if you knew a person like this in real life, you would think, man, this guy is weird. But it's like, man, I really wish I knew someone who was like this in real life. I wish I was friends with this guy. But also Hannah Waddingham is in it, and she's amazing in it, and I have a crush. I had never known who this person was before, but she is amazing. She was Septa Unella in Game of Thrones, and she was also in Krypton for like a minute, but I've got a huge crush now. Do it. It's only $5 a month, even if you go over the week trial on Apple TV. There's literally nothing else on Apple TV to watch. I want to keep this. I think I'm going to keep this one. And like when I think someone's right, I'm just going to go, man, you're so right. I totally agree with you because I really like that. I want to start watching it again. Season 2 this Friday on Apple TV. So that's it. Anything else? Nobody did nothing. Man, you guys need to do more. Let's do news. Especially disappointed in Dave. Dave ain't doing nothing. He's gone. He left. He's like, I'll show you I do.
Oh, nothing. You want to what?
Let's talk about this monster.
He's hungry.
Dave,
for your wallet.
Can you please go to Hasbro Pulse HasLab and check out where we're at? As you may or may not know, Hasbro has this thing called HasLab where they like crowdfund,
which is dumb, and I don't like that. But
it just builds buzz, really.
That's really what it is a buzz-building tool.
It's a Kickstarter, exactly.
But they don't need a Kickstarter.
Every fucking one of these that they have done has succeeded, except for the Cookie Monster, and literally, that's the only one I put my money in for. Because I wanted it for my daughter.
Wow, you're just a kiss of death there, Gomer.
I really, dude. I mean, they had the Jabba's barge, Unicron. Man,
They are at 7,346 backers, targeted at 14K.
This thing though, $400. I mean, don't get me wrong. This is a beautiful looking Galactus, but $400.
And he lights up.
He lights up. He comes
got
with
different faces, I think.
Yeah, he gets 3 swappable face plates. 4 AAA batteries are required, but
AAA.
AAA. That's how big he is.
That's crazy.
32-inch. Why doesn't he have a fucking USB cable? It's not like I'm going to be walking his ass around.
Well, if you're going to get a USB
quick.
cable in there, I expect him to walk across the fucking room.
Yeah, excuse me, sir. Do you have someplace I can plug my Galactus in? I need to charge my Galactus.
My Devourer world is hungry for your batteries.
Here's a sort of comparison. Him next to a 6-inch figure.
I like Taylor just down there eating whatever he's eating.
I love it. It's the best thing ever.
At least he's muted.
Exactly. Unlike Dave, who will pop a bag of chips and slurp on an RC Cola while he's like talking about comics.
You don't know why I like you.
Yeah. So there you go. I mean,
that's the bar I try to hit, is to be more professional than David. You know?
So there you go. I mean, it's a great addition to anybody's collection. If you're a Legends collector, this is a must-have for you.
Can you imagine the
Build-A-Figure
that you would get with those guys?
This is a centerpiece of a collection.
I'm not a big action figure collector, but this looks rad as hell, I gotta say.
It is rad.
It's 300 pieces, 70 points of articulation.
So you gotta assemble it?
20 point. No. Well, no. It's just 300 pieces all interlocked together.
Okay.
What do you mean you gotta assemble it? What
do you meant when
it's
you
not
said
a fucking
300 pieces?
IKEA. What are
or
you
a Lego.
about?
A Lego Galactus?
Yeah, it's dude.
Wouldn't that be the worst? It's like you're missing the elbow valve for your Galactus set, and you can't put it together.
Yeah. So yeah, he's rad. He's cool. Again, you got to go to Hasbro Pulse /HasLab to enter the crowdfunding, and if it hits 14,000,
it's 14,000 backers.
How many has it got to get to?
They've got 43 days, 3 hours, and 51 minutes to accomplish.
But how many is it up to now, and how many do they need?
7,346. So they're more than halfway there.
Yeah, how much would I chip in for them to send me one of these?
Oh, it's $400.
$399.99
plus shipping.
I don't know if I like it that much, but that does look really
should
cool.
be included with that.
It's a rad piece. It's a rad piece. Actually, if you're a member of the Hasbro exclusive membership thing that they've got, you get free shipping on everything from the store. And you get early access to everything.
Yeah, that was the hang-up, was the shipping. Yeah. That was the thing that was keeping me from
Taylor's like, I'd love to have the Devourer of Worlds, but I'm not paying FedEx $30, to get it.
And those hands
my
are
ongoing feud with FedEx is costing me a lot, I gotta say.
All right, moving on. Video games. Valve, of all people, announced a new portable gaming PC called the Steam Deck. And yes, that's exactly what it is. It comes with their own Linux version running their own OS. They're running into their own problems, different problems with that because of some DRM programs, anti-cheat software that only runs on Windows, so you can't play some of the most popular games on this thing yet. They are working on a workaround, and there is a user workaround because this is just a computer. You can take the operating system that's on it and put any operating system you want on it. Once the hackers get a hold of this, it's going to be great because you're going to get multi-boot. You're going to get all kinds of dope shit. You're going to get ROMs out the ass. Everyone's talking about this being a Switch killer, and
it's definitely not a Switch killer.
It's not a Switch killer. Nintendo is a Switch killer.
Yeah, so now I was on the fence with that. Okay, I was like, no.
I mean, the Switch, I think, is pretty fucking profitable for them. I would.
No, the Switch is definitely profitable.
I'm just talking about David saying like the Switch is like.
Oh well,
Nintendo's the Switch killer.
He's just following the crowd, beating up on Nintendo coming out with another version of the Switch is what he's doing.
You fucking sheep.
Yeah, that has not come with such. Gusto from the community, but it doesn't matter because the other Switches are all still available. They're not discontinuing any of the current models of Switch. But anyway, I was like, man, there's no way this is a Switch killer. Switch has sold like 84 million units. It's like the 8th most popular selling console of all time.
It's Nintendo. Everybody
exactly.
knows Nintendo,
and
right?
that was my thing. I was like, people aren't buying a Switch because of its design, because it's portable. People are buying the Switch because of first-party games.
This Steam Deck, don't get me wrong, it will do well, but this is for the hardcores. This is for the people who know.
This is really not the same target demographic at all.
Exactly.
Now the only on the go, huh?
The only caveat there is the ROM community. All right, this is a perfect ROM emulator. This is a perfect emulation machine. I can really see some great hacks on this where you'll be able to fit so many games on just one SD card, plug it in, and literally you'll be able to play like 4 or 5 generations worth of games on one handheld console. And Valve has got to know that they are making that. You know what I mean? They have got to know that they are literally creating an emulator machine. They've got to know that.
Right?
I get it.
Well, but they know that.
I don't know. That's a little weird for me for that alone. You know what I mean? Why wouldn't Nintendo just say, "Hey, here's $10 million. Please don't make this"? I mean, honestly, why wouldn't they? Because they're the ones who are going to miss out the most. They're Nintendo because of the ROMs. They're the ones who are going to miss out the most, dude.
Well, that's Nintendo's own fault because they don't release that shit themselves. They're just sitting on it. If they would release it, it wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's pretty hardcore. It's got a 2.4 to 3.5 gigahertz CPU, 1 to 1.6 GPU. Battery life is a little shitty. There's 3 different models of hard drives. So, I mean, and then you see all these, buttons in here. It's got a touchscreen. These squares underneath the analog sticks are also, buttons that do shit.
They're like trackpads.
Yeah, trackpads. I couldn't think of the name. The review video that I watched where there was actually a hands-on by, I think it was Games Radar. I don't fucking remember. Maybe IGN. He said that the buttons looked like they were, out of whack. They looked like they were not going to work, but then once he started playing games, it felt right. So there's also a bunch of buttons on the back, of course, shoulder buttons, analog triggers and shit like that. But it's already sold out. You can only get it through Valve's website. It comes with a dock, so you can plug it into your TV, and then it works just like a PC.
That's really cool.
That is really cool. The dock is sold separately. Cool. Of course
it is.
Assholes.
You mentioned a second ago that you get the console for the game. That's probably less true for this, but it does beg the question, is this the only way we're going to be able to play fucking Half-Life 3 if they ever get around to making it?
They don't make video games anymore. I think this is proof of that.
People always want to put Valve on these lists of the game makers that are some of the best. Pound for pound, they may be one of the best, if not, Blizzard might be the best, pound for pound too, but
pound for pound, it's Team Ico because they've made like 3 games and they're all masterpieces.
That's true. Really? Have they only made 3 games?
They're the only ones I can think of. They made Eco, they made Shadow of the Colossus, and they made The Last Guardian. I can't think of any others.
I guess they spent a lot of time on that HD remaster that they did for that.
I guess.
But anyway, yeah, that's true. But I mean, pound for pound, though, you can make an argument for Valve. Half-Life is fucking amazing.
True, but it's also like, what have you done for me lately? Because
we made you a console that you can look at your games library while you're on the shitter now, not playing anything.
I mean, what was the last
sitting at your desk?
Okay, sure, but
porn
as a game developer,
looking
though,
at your games.
Like, what have they made since like Team Fortress 2?
Yeah, I mean, but they're still living off that, man. Team Fortress.
They are, yeah.
Counter-Strike, motherfuckers still playing
some kind of Half-Life.
A lot of people still playing
Half-Life spinoff.
Oh yeah, they had that VR. Alex, what's her name?
Alex,
yeah.
That won awards for best VR game.
Didn't they just
remake it's like the only VR game?
They made that like spin-off to Half-Life 2 like 15 years ago. Wasn't that just
the
an
Alex
adaptation
one?
of that?
The VR one was just within a couple years.
Was that entirely new, or was that just like an adaptation of that?
No, that was entirely new.
Oh, my mistake.
With VR, jumping into VR. But yeah, it almost reminds me of like James Cameron. I only do the weirdest, biggest, dumbest shit ever.
Yes.
It's like, man, we just want another Portal, assholes. Just give us a new Portal. Jerks. It's the only first-person shooter my old lady ever loved watching me play.
Yeah, the Half-Life Alex was 2020.
Yeah. She loved watching me play Portal. She'd be like, "Oh, try this." That was a great game,
I'd love another
dude.
Portal. I'd love another Left 4 Dead.
That'd be cool. Sure.
But
All right, moving on back. Now we're into comics. We're gonna get to other screen stuff later, but new stuff created. David, go ahead with your horror comic.
All right, so DC Comics and the last podcast on the left have announced that they are collaborating together to make Soul Plumber. This will be the second book in the DC horror imprint line.
Now, what is Last House on the Left?
Last podcast on the left.
Yeah, what is that? That's like a horror podcast.
It's not a horror podcast. They cover a lot of things. They do cover like horror, like supernatural. They cover serial killers. Last week they finished up a 5-part series on the bubonic plague. This week
dope.
they had some kind of strange cavern discovered during World War II called the Moon Shaft.
Sounds hot.
It does. Which is suspected of having evidence of a civilization in Central Europe before any known civilization.
Oh, that was the perfect time to use my new Ted Lasso meme. That
Yeah.
sounds hot.
Well,
That
you
does.
missed the moment now.
I did. I know.
But
I'm trying to build my muscle memory now. You know.
But the story basically goes by this gas station attendant. He is attending some kind of seminar, but he can't buy into it. Serial killers and ghost crap. They also talk about one of their best series was on Jonestown. It was like about a 5-part series too.
Oh man.
They talked
Jonestown,
about
We need
the old
Eli
one.
to explain shit way more efficiently than you do, David.
Yeah.
That would save us so much time.
David's been going on for like 5 minutes about what this big.
But
Eli, it's serial killers and ghost
of the
crap.
4 of us on this podcast, I'm the one that listens to this stuff regularly, and I can tell you who the hosts are, and I can tell you that Marcus Parks, and I'm going off on a Marcus Parks rant right here. Marcus Parks is a comic book.
Oh no!
Is a comic book fan. He loves the Invisibles. He is a big fan of the Invisibles. He's tickled that he's doing this new series, but the story basically takes this gas station attendant who can't buy into this big old group's idea of making a machine to summon demons to Earth, so he builds one by pirating it, and something comes through.
Oh, rad! Okay,
yeah.
So how does that come in? I mean, have they talked about this on the podcast?
They announced it. They just announced it in
No, I mean like
episode.
the premise, the genesis of the story. Is it like sourced from things that they were talking about on the show?
They haven't gone into any specific details.
You were a fan.
I am a fan, but they haven't gone into any specific details about this. They announced it.
Yes.
Okay. Then you tell me. Tell me.
I don't care.
Yeah, that's not. I mean, it looks okay. I'm anxious to hear you talk about it once it comes out. I am.
Yeah,
sincerely.
But they've got John. I think it's McCree. John McCree.
Yeah.
John McCree is the artist on this. You know, he's done stuff for like The Boys, Hitman.
Yeah.
So it's looking pretty good.
It'll be good. More horror from DC. Task Force Z, along with DC versus Vampires. Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever book David was talking about seems a lot more interesting now that I'm actually saying these things out loud.
These don't seem interesting at all.
This October, the DC universe gets a whole lot scarier. With Task Force Z and DC versus Vampires, writer Matthew Rosenberg.
12-issue series.
I was sure it was going to be 6 for real.
Yeah, they
12 issues.
Yeah, Eli, they did resume
gonna drag that out.
Oh, that'd be fun. Man, you and Leroy should do that, dude. Get a tour going.
We should get a podcast where we can cover that kind of stuff.
Writer Matthew Rosenberg. That's good though. I like Matthew Rosenberg.
I like Matthew Rosenberg too.
It's dragging some of.
I'm still not gonna read this.
Dragging some of Gotham City's most dangerous villains back from the dead to earn a second chance at life in Task Force Z. So it's Suicide Squad, but they're
zombies
fighting zombies.
Zombies.
No, it sounds like it's Suicide Squad that is zombies.
But the undead are contained in Gotham. That's all we got on that. A mysterious benefactor is bringing a new task force that has recruited only person who could lead them. Red Hood. Red Hood's going to lead them. So no, it ain't going to be zombie Red Hood. That don't make any sense. David, that don't make any sense.
I mean,
but you just said
he is a zombie. He got Lazarus pitted, you know.
Oh, that's not the same.
But you said it was give these second chances, these guys a second chance at life.
Yeah, because they're prisoners.
A door would break us up.
Yeah, there'd be too much fun to be had.
Funny. That's hilarious. Behind the podcast, the comic book police. I don't know, man. Task Force Z sounds like fun.
It could
really
be
does.
fun,
It could be,
but
yeah.
I just don't
Sounds
have
like
room
fun.
for this.
Yeah, this sounds lame though.
That sounds lame. Super lame.
It seems like it's like in the same vein as like your Marvel zombies or like, just taking some sort of stupid premise and like running with it. Maybe
Batman
it'll
is taking
be
offense.
somewhat fun, but I'm definitely not interested enough to give it a shot.
Batman's taking offense because the zombies are trying to steal his bat motif.
Yeah, I'm a bat. You're not allowed to be a bat. Does DC Universe not have like a vampire hunter like Blade?
They have
Frankenstein.
That works. Frankenstein works.
I mean, they have. I remember in the beginning of the New 52, they had the what was it, like I Vampire, a book like that or whatever.
Was that the same thing though?
I don't know. It had like some vampire dude who was like king of the vampires.
That's some vampire dude. Come on, man. I thought you asked for Blade. It has some vampire dude in it.
It ain't Blade.
Yeah.
It's Wesley Snipes.
So, Task Force Z, Eddie Barrows is on the art. That's October 26th. $4. There's our variants, of course. And then issue 1 of 12 of DC versus Vampires, also October 26th. Otto Schmidt is doing a cover. Who's doing the art on that?
If Otto Schmidt was doing the interiors, I might.
Maybe he is. Yeah, he is. He is doing the interiors. Otto Schmidt. There you go. He loves them palindromes, Otto. All right, Captain America has unveiled the 5th and final of these local Captains Americas. Whatever. He's an active duty military officer. Christopher Cantwell created this character based on a real-life soldier. The character's name is Jeremy Merrick. He's an Air Force intelligence officer, served at NORAD, but he's all like pro-veterans now. Like he's not going to let his comrades fall, even though they're not enlisted anymore. And Dale Eaglesham is going to be doing the art on this backup.
So it'll look good.
Yeah, it'll look good. He's actually doing the main book, but other artists and writers have been filling in for the last one. The backup part, whatever. All right. New Batman book. 1 of 12. Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, it'll be done in time for next Halloween, so they have it.
Yeah, dude, that's actually right. I mean, it'll be done for Halloween, and they'll collect the trade.
I was just thinking, man, why is DC not doing any more Batman books? I mean, they're such a such a dearth of Batman material on the shelves right now.
So there's a Batman Among Us.
Yeah, the Imposter. Very underused. If only DC Comics had a backstock of hundreds of characters that they could actually put in a comic.
But none of those sell.
Alas. How do you know they don't put them out? I would buy a book.
I mean, the best most of these characters can hope for is that like Tom King takes a passing interest in them and does like a 12-issue miniseries.
And you say that if they'd hire creators that people knew, like if Bendis chose some shit character, I'd pick it up. If Scott Snyder picked some, obscure Frankenstein, I'd read his Frankenstein all day since you just mentioned him. He's obscure as hell. Anyway, Matt C. Tomlin is doing the writing, but Andrea Sorrentino is doing the interiors. It's only a 3-issue miniseries.
So I see it's Black Label. Is it one of those like really big prestige ones?
It is prestige. It is prestige. So it's going to be $5 or $6 an issue. But I don't care. I'm getting this because I love Andrea Sorrentino. It's amazing. Oh my gosh, I'm stoked. And this is supposed to be. Oh, look at that design work. Oh yeah. My gosh, look at that design work, guys.
For sure.
Oh my goodness. Anyway. This is like three. This is another big deal about this. The series debuts worldwide. All right, and this is a big part of DC's plans. They talked about them. Last year. So Spain, Germany, Brazil, Mexico, Italy, France, Russia, Czech Republic, Poland, Japan, South Korea, Turkey, Argentina, all simultaneous, all various print versions, localized print versions. It's a huge thing. I think that
is actually
amazing. I think that's so rad.
That is a lot of crazy logistics behind that.
Oh yeah, they. Well, I could see them saying no to that. I could see them saying no to that. I could just see him saying, "I'm just gonna give DC like the worst pitch I could ever give them. Something I know they're gonna turn down because I don't want to do. I don't want to work." So yes, I'm on a Batman book.
That art did look fantastic. I'll probably check out the first issue just for that. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just not on most of those prestige books.
They're the best Batman books, I think. I really think they are. I really think they're the best Batman books. Anyway, finally, Frog Thor will return. This is a great segue. I set these up.
Now let Taylor drop the book.
This is He bought this week's issue.
No, I didn't.
I saw it in your stack.
It was in my box, but I put it back. I told him to take it off my list this week.
Nice. Oh, well, you fucked up. Thor number 18 due out in October. The 2021 or October 2021 solicitations are not out for Marvel. They should be out early next week. But Thor's the official Thor Twitter account, which I didn't even know was a fucking thing, to be honest with you, put this out. This is Oliver Copiel's cover. Portents, Donny Cates,
cover.
And artist Pascal Ferry. Pascal Ferry was actually on the JMS run, I want to say, way back when.
Pascal Ferry does some good shit. He's actually done some Batman and Thor work that I remember seeing in the past.
That's in my notes. Nick Klein is actually the regular artist on this. Fill-ins by Aaron Cooter and Michelle Bandini. No more details on this till next week, so we're not really sure what this is going to be. Gator Loki better fucking show up. That's all I got to say. If he didn't show up, what's the point?
Gonna strike while that iron is hot.
Yeah, what's the point if he's not going to be there? What's the point?
I just want to have a Gator Loki pop.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Finally, the 6th episode of Loki. Oh my gosh, we're going to spend some time here, gentlemen.
Oh yeah,
so. Maybe not.
This was a super exciting episode for it just being this guy talking for.
Well, it had a lot of it had a lot of energy, a lot of architect.
It did.
You know what I'm saying? It had a lot of architect energy.
But like that, but with a charismatic actor, you know?
Dude. Yeah. All right, the Emmy Award. Let me sidetrack just a little bit because this is about Falcon and Winter Soldier. The Emmy nominations were announced this week. Don Cheadle was nominated for Outstanding Guest Appearance in a Drama Series for literally like 3 minutes in Falcon and Winter Soldier. All right.
Apparently, even Don Cheadle was confused by that.
He tweeted out, I don't know what's going on, but hey, whatever. I think Timothy Olyphant is actually going to win that award for his appearance in The Mandalorian. Anyway, if this dude isn't fucking nominated next year, there's a problem. Because that was an amazing guest appearance.
Yeah, Adam's right. This episode was nothing but this guy chewing the scenery, but it was fucking awesome. He really sold that.
It had architect energy. That's what I kept saying the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And we get to watch Sylvie cause the next 10 years of DC problems. Yeah.
It's now the Marvel Cinematic Multiverse. Doctor Strange, poor guy. If he just wouldn't have texted way back in 2016, he wouldn't have to worry about all this shit. Alas, it's on him now. Thematically, I could not help but notice the apple. I don't know who else noticed this. I saw a couple of stories around, but it didn't get a lot of acknowledgement. I mean, this is literally God. He has basically created time and existence to his whim. Based on some twisted altruistic, morally gray, I would say, and it's not black or white really. And that's sort of the appeal of the show and this character. Is he doing the right thing? Is he not doing the right thing? Is Sylvie did she do the right thing, or did she fuck up everything? Is free will really something that shouldn't be kept in check? You know what I'm saying? Which really works in with Loki's character because he's an agent of chaos, but it's really hard to not see how him chewing on this apple and Loki and Sylvie there, him giving them the opportunity to basically be
run
in
the
charge,
TVA.
Run the TVA, work free will to their own, devices, which there's a biblical, sort
Satan
of
in the
Genesis.
garden, and
yeah, dude. There's this, great thing, there with that. So, what else? Anything else on this episode, on the series overall?
I really hate that at the end of it when Loki goes back to Mobius doesn't know who he is.
Yeah, well,
I hated that.
It'd be interesting to see what that is moving forward. Apparently, Loki is like outside of like the TVA's parameters now, so that could be interesting.
Well, we did see. Go ahead, Adam. Go ahead.
Well, I will say, like, it is exciting that we actually do know that we are getting a season 2 out of this.
Yeah,
this is the first of the new Marvel shows to actually get a season 2.
Yeah. I mean, Captain America and Winter Soldier is definitely getting
they're getting a movie.
So it all kind of works together now, though, because I can watch my Marvel movies obviously for $30.
Well, that's the interesting thing about these MCU Disney Plus shows is that they have to also fit within the continuity of several movies that are going on. So
yeah,
it's unclear in a given character's, story arc whether we're going to resolve this in another season or we're going to resolve this in a movie. Like Wanda is going to show up in Doctor Strange's movie, so that's where we'll pick up with her.
Why
we're probably
Loki,
not going to get another WandaVision,
And we know Kang is going to show up in Quantumania, so that's going to be a thing. But if I had to guess what a second season of Loki would look like, it would be sort of the same thing, just in reverse. It's Loki knowing who everybody is, knowing who the bad guy is. The bad guy knows who Loki is. And it's Loki trying to convince all of his friends to believe him, to trust in him again. So,
yeah.
But then where's Sylvie going to be? Where's she going to end up? She's coming back. One thing on this, they did lose their showrunner. She's not coming back. But we did get a new meme out of it. I mean, it's fucking perfect energy. I mean,
it is.
It's just, and there was a whole lot of that. He was one part Willy Wonka, one part fucking
Satan.
Satan. But I was gonna say Wizard of Oz, but more of the Wiz version. What was that dude's name?
Richard Pryor.
Yeah, well, yeah, he was fucking played by Richard Pryor, but he had like a normal, weird sounding name. Anyway, so yeah, dude, I'm stoked.
I really did love this whole season, and this was a really good season finale, although they really left us hanging here. So
I like it that they left us hanging.
But there's a big lack of closure. There's like we are springboarding directly into another crisis here. So that does kind of frustrate me a little bit, that like we're gonna have to wait for like a year at least before we see them pick up with these storylines again.
In a way, I kind of see it as I'm trying to distinguish between the MCU's big screen stuff and the MCU's small screen stuff. And WandaVision really didn't give us, closure in the context.
They resolved what happened in the Hex,
But we're definitely going to see,
It's okay for
but they were getting additional seasons.
I'm just trying to figure out the way the difference between getting closure on a story that's being told and having a cliffhanger for a story that's never ending, which is what the MCU is.
That's true.
You know what I mean? It's difficult for me to sort of separate those at this point, just because everything is so cohesive. And dude, 2021 has been a nonstop fucking kibosh of MCU. It's been bam, bam. It's like a marathon. I want to go back and watch everything like again. WandaVision again and Captain. You know what I mean? Because
fair. But all I'm trying to say is that
stream better.
It's pretty common for a season to end with her like there's some sort of looming crisis on the horizon, or there's plot threads that still need to be addressed. But usually they hit you into like a landing pad. Somewhere where like okay, things are not immediately, going on right now. Like there's something we have to address later, but we've hit like a status quo, right? Like WandaVision ended with them. Okay, hey, we have undone the Hex. Wanda is going to pick up with her kids at some point, probably in the Doctor Strange movie. We're going to see Vision again at some point, but we have resolved the ongoing plot from this season.
There's a
theory. That seems like a TV trope that can almost like be an obstacle for telling good storytelling. You know what I mean? Like, all right, we've got to wrap up some things this season to give the audience some closure.
Well, I mean, that's the nature of the, and I'm not even saying that's necessarily a bad thing.
Sure.
I'm just saying
at this point we're just weighing the the positive and negative aspects of it.
Well,
because I felt like there was still like the story and the characters all still
absolutely
forward.
I loved this
in this episode. Yeah.
What I was really saying is that like if I was trying to rank all the MCU shows so far, I might have put this even above WandaVision, which is my favorite so far, if we weren't like immediately spilling out into something else because the story's not over, right?
Sure.
I feel like before we can do a ranking, we need to see how this all pans out because there's still so much story left to tell.
Season 2 has got to be resolved.
Well, I did hear that this was supposed to be 12 episodes, but COVID cut production in half. And I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't seen anything official on that. But hey, whatever. So yeah, solid. I'm stoked for everything else they got going on. What's next? What if, right?
Yeah,
what if?
Weeks.
And I guess we can see how this is going to spin directly out of this, right? We're like, these are going to be some of the different branches that are being formed right now.
I would think it makes sense. It's so organic, it really is.
Oh, and I actually wanted to mention, I really liked how at the beginning we were like getting all the different voices talking over the Marvel logo, where it's like, here is like, we're peering into the timeline as it has played out before. We're seeing hearing at least all these different characters have their moments that we've already seen.
Yeah. No, that was cool. So I don't think it's fair to rank these. I mean, they're all so different, and I think that's really what Disney Plus has allowed the MCU to do, to move away from maybe, I don't want to say formulaic, especially after Infinity War and Endgame, but Black Widow was definitely back to the formula.
There is a Marvel formula.
But
there's a formula, but I do not consider that a bad thing.
No, of course not. But it's nice to have some diversity in the storytelling and
sure.
and the approaches and just in everything. It was great. All right, moving on.
Yummy.
I think
food news. Oh, the D&D and nerds.
Yeah, He is teaming up with Wizards of the Coast for a Dungeons and Dragons promo.
Interesting.
Hold on. Keep talking. There's something I'm going to look up.
Starting in September 1st, you can get specially marked packages of Nerds candy. It'll have a QR code on it. You scan the QR code, and it unlocks custom Dungeons and Dragons adventures. Now, this isn't a crossover with Fortnite or anything, but hey, it's solid.
Interesting.
I know that some pictures came out over the weekend from the new G4, and they had a D&D set up with nerds.
Oh well, there you go. So that's actually happening.
There was a picture of I don't know who the third person is, but Adam Sessler and Kevin Pereira were sitting at a table with bags of nerds.
They're so old now.
And there's a DM with a bag of nerds. And I don't know who she is.
Nerds is disgusting candy. I don't like it. I've never liked it.
It's rock candy.
It's disgusting. I don't give a shit what it is. It's nasty. It's disgusting. It's gross. I'd
be curious what you mean by D&D adventures. Are they like giving out like dungeon maps or like magic items?
If Gomer could put the image back up on the screen, this is what I've been seeing on the.
I'm reading my little book, my module. I got my module in my box.
I know on Twitter these various nerd characters are all being given names in classes.
But it's not going to include that. It's just basically.
I can tell you what those classes are looking at the picture there.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. They're not hiding it. They're not hiding it.
No, they're not hiding it, but they're giving you like a backstory and such.
But that doesn't matter though. The custom D&D adventures are not
like.
Now I know the green nerd's the bard.
Yes.
Okay, so do they mean like?
I want to be the pink nerd.
So when they say custom D&D adventures, is this like materials you can use to play the game, or is it just like?
That's what I'm assuming. That's what I'm assuming.
So yeah, who gives a fuck about these characters then? As far as like,
go buy some fucking nerds, Taylor. Go buy some nerds.
Whatever.
Can I ask a question that's kind of on topic, but not really?
Go for it.
Why is there not a Dungeons and Dragons mobile game like Pokemon Go?
Because the Dungeons and Dragons lore is not something that a lot of people care about.
You think
the vast majority of people who play D&D are not steeped in like the settings and like the.
I am
because the vast
love
majority
that
of
shit.
people who play D&D don't like to go out into parks in the middle of the day and interact with strangers.
I don't think that's true.
They
I don't think
probably would have
that's true.
said the same thing about people who play Pokemon a lot too, though.
Yeah, that's
good
true.
point.
That
Yeah,
is
they
true.
just had
That
Go
is
Fest
true.
this weekend.
Yeah, they did have Go Fest. That's what made me think about it because I read a thing on Go Fest right after I read some Dungeons and Dragons news, not the nerds news, other news. But
Oh, you talking about that new module?
yeah, the new dragons. It's like a dragon.
Nerds one?
Spins Bars Guide
I guess,
to
like,
or
if you
Spins
wanted to
Bars
do something
Treasury
like
of
that,
Dragons.
Would you be like, okay, I'm looking around for like goblins, and I'm gonna like when I get close
You're
to one, I can
adventuring,
like
bro.
throw a
You're
fireball at him or
adventuring.
something.
Yeah, dude, you're throwing your fucking phone at some goblins and shit. Anyway,
Probably shouldn't do that, but
Probably shouldn't do that. Get insurance on your phone. Man, it's been like 3 weeks.
Oh boy,
This has been a long time coming. Yeah,
It's time for.
We're
a
not
moment
talking
of
about all
destruction.
those. We got one book to talk about. We've canceled all that other
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, we'll just talk about the one that came out.
But there is really quick here, $91.99. I believe this is a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. So
Yeah.
they're getting a lot of fucking free promo. Come on, Hasbro, throw us a bone here, a-holes.
I love the Skyward
we
coloring.
got ourselves here a nice shattered glass Jetfire.
Oh, it's
All right.
Thundercracker, not Skyward. Is it
No,
Skyward?
This is Jetfire.
I know it's
Jetfire.
Jetfire, but he has
What are you
that. He
talking
has
about?
that Skywarp coloring.
Yeah, he does have Sky Warp sort of paint job taken. Honestly, again, for me, it's all about those blast effects. Look at those beautiful blue 2-piece blast effects. They are gorgeous.
They do look pretty.
I
do.
wish they had them on his bot mode. They probably had another image, but
It is a pretty Jetfire, but
on his
honestly,
bot mode, they would be the fire from the weapons.
yeah, exactly. Or you can make him anything you want.
You can make him. You can
They
make it
got
coming out
pegs
of
on
his
there.
mast and his
Yeah,
chest
I got him
as he
coming
got
out of his
shot.
ass. Got him coming out of his ass.
I got a hold. That's a pretty bad, isn't it, John?
I kind of think this is a weird or a weak shattered glass character to have because he
Yes.
starts off as a Decepticon anyway.
Exactly. It is. Oh shit! It is weird. Also, he's $91.99. He does come with that comic book, the exclusive Hasbro Pulse variant comic, which, if you sold that, you could probably make your $91.99 back if you really just wanted the figure. Just saying. That's been the that's been the trend.
That's the Siege Jetfire, ain't it?
Yeah, it's just a repaint. That's what all these Shattered Glass are. The blur is the same way that they've showed off. I don't mind it. You know, the Shattered Glass comic looks great. We're going to be talking about it on this show whenever it comes out. I think it's next month, August or September. So, all right, moving on. Beast Wars, behind the scenes grab, show off the cars that will be in this movie about
Oh
animals.
yeah, show off the cars of Beast Wars.
That's fucking ridiculous. Are you kidding me? I mean, I wasn't expecting him to have like a guy in a monkey suit running around. I'm not. Okay? I'm not.
Porsches.
But there's 2 Porsches. There's B, the Camaro, the worst fucking version of Bumblebee, except for his first appearance where he looks like a fucking F-Zero car. And then Optimus Prime, who doesn't look bad.
No, he looks like Optimus.
Well, what's up with the grill? I don't like that grill. I like a clean shaven grill, just like on Optimus Prime.
Optimus Prime is tired of your shit.
He is tired of my shit.
He's the Ron Swanson.
Dude, we should get together and actually make a plan to go see this movie. All of us. Because it's going to be stupid and lame, and I want to cheer at the screen when Optimus
It's gonna
Prime
be bad.
comes out.
It's not gonna be good.
I'm down.
It's gonna be terrible.
I'm down
Something
because
that's
I want to
fun
see
watch
Gomer
as
in the
group,
theater.
though, I think.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see in the theater. Anthony Ramos is going to be in it. He's awesome. Maybe he'll sing in it. Maybe he'll sing.
Maybe.
That's what I really want. Anthony Ramos to sing in an
I'm gonna
Optimus Prime
assume
musical.
not. You know, I'm assuming that that's not gonna happen.
If Lin-Manuel Miranda should write a Transformers the musical.
We should
I would
have a
watch that.
Transformers rap. Hey, if the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles can have a
no.
ninja rap,
No.
we can have an Autobot
You
rap.
lost me now. Oh yeah, I do. All right, you're right. Transformers number 32. Brian Ruckley, Anna Malkova, Angel Hernandez. Not terrible. Lost
I
Light.
actually thought this was a fine
Lost
issue.
Light did this way better.
Oh yeah, Lost Light did this way better. So this starts off with what's her name? Jumpstream? Is that her name?
Jumpstream.
Yeah, Jumpstream. Last issue she was jumping around because they hyped up her powers. She kind of has like Skywarp's powers or Nightcrawler's powers, where she can hop around, and she accidentally hopped into what we learn later in the issue is the future, where she meets Exer Khan or whatever his name is, the threefold.
No, is this like an alternate future though?
No, they think that this is
I missed that part.
They think that this is an alternate dimension, but at the end of the issue, they learn that this is actually the future. And when she jumps back to the past, she accidentally creates a path for Skywarp, who is possessed by Exercon.
That's right. Okay,
who is able to come back into the past.
Yes.
So they accidentally bring back the threefold spark into the present.
I don't like that.
Yeah, it's weird.
The reason the Lost Light shit worked when it did is because I already knew what functionism was. I knew how it related to Megatron and history up to that point. The Lost Light was all post-Civil War. This is pre-Civil War.
Right.
And 30 fucking issues, I still don't know what the threefold spark is. Everyone's talking about it like it's some big, oogie boogie.
But we have no idea what it is.
I have no idea why, what's going on. Functionism was like fucking tyranny, dude. Was, a caste system where you were forced to do whatever job your alt mode dictated you to have.
I'm with you. The whole status quo of this whole new Transformers universe just doesn't work at all.
It doesn't work.
That being said, though, this was still a better issue of this series.
Yeah.
But Brian Reckley is finally learning how to write an issue of a comic book.
Agreed.
This felt like it had a beginning, middle, and end. It felt like the whole issue actually accomplished something, which many of his issues do not feel like.
When characters came out, he actually pointed to that. Here's Vortex. Yes. It was like, oh, cool. And he actually pointed to it and gave them a moment in the spotlight, not just
and a reason to be there.
And a reason to be there, not just like, oh, here's who. I don't remember who it was. It was like in issue 5 or 6. This motherfucker showed up and they're like, okay. And then he didn't do nothing for 2 issues. It was like the one who was the
you can't even remember.
Guy, but he had autism. He was like on the spectrum.
Oh, Giamottis.
Yeah, Giamottis. And they were like, oh, here's Giamottis. And I was like, oh, cool. And then you didn't see Giamottis again for 2 fucking books. It was like, damn. But yeah, Ruckley's figuring it out, I think. About time. It only took him 2 fucking years. I don't even know what's coming out next for TFs, but when it does, we'll talk about it here. What's left? Top 3? Who wants to start? Get some time to think about it. We start with Dave. He's always got so many damn honorable mentions.
Oh, the fan's back.
Oh, is it now?
No, it's weird. I don't know. I think your mic is
down now.
I think your mic is like noise canceling. It's just kind of delayed on the noise canceling.
So
yeah, we'll start with Dave with his 5 honorable mentions.
Start with me. I only have one honorable mention
today. I was about to say, this is a terrible week.
Oh, only one honorable mention? Yeah, it must be a thin week.
Righty. Savage Hearts #1 from Dark Horse Comics. D&D adventure kind of deal. A satyr living in a forest stumbles across a group of adventurers trying to find a hidden temple and immediately falls in love with the barbarian of the group.
Hot.
And hijinks ensue.
Aubrey Sitterson, great writer.
Yeah, Aubrey Sitterson and
the reason that the Hasbro shared universe failed. Dude,
is he the reason?
He is. I actually bought Lost Light #1, just a couple of copies. I actually read them all the first time around digitally. So I'm just going to go back and try to find them. They had some up at the shop, and I reread it. Dude, at one point, they had 8 different Hasbro comics coming out a month.
They did. It was crazy.
Dude. That's like X-Men.
I bought all of those physically.
Me too. Oh, I didn't buy them physically. I read them.
Well, this is Dark Horse seems to be his new home now ever since he left IDW because he had that the last book, the fighting book,
Bang Bros or whatever.
Wasn't Bang Bros like the last book. My number 3 pick is going to be 6 Sidekicks of Trigger Keaton #2.
Not bad.
Holy shit, this was a good read.
It was not. It was okay. It went real fast. The pacing.
It was meant to go. It was meant to go really fast.
Really cool car chase.
Yeah, very cool car chase with one of the former child actors, and he becomes like this high-speed savant.
Yeah.
In this car that was left to him because Trigger Keaton thought that he was worthless because he sat on the car as a child. He sat on the car, and scuffed a paint mark or something. So Trigger Keaton beat him.
Yeah.
But the mystery the mystery deepens. As they're trying to figure out if Trigger Keaton was murdered, some suspects come up and tell them that you're just getting into waters that you don't want to get into, and they end up recruiting the girl that was a sidekick that everybody hates, because apparently she is in a fight club and she's whipping people's asses.
Yeah, but just a weird, crazy,
fast-paced, fun
Hollywood. Yeah, it's good. Not bad. Taylor, going around the clock.
For my honorable mention, I'll do Way of X number 4.
That's my number 3. It's a good choice.
We continue to have Nightcrawler kind of get into like the moral implications of the mutant society. Here he's tackling like the don't kill anyone law, and we have that piece of shit. What's his name? Cortez. Yeah, Fabian Cortez going around. Oh, I'm not killing him. Like being a little shit. And I enjoyed watching Nightcrawler beat the shit out of him, but I also just enjoy like how this book is examining the cracks in the structure here, Yeah. Like we were like watching in awe at this godlike feat of them terraforming Mars a couple weeks ago, and this issue starts off with dust showing up. It's like those dumbasses didn't account for the dust storms that they're creating.
The tides.
Yeah, the tides that are caused by the moon and everything. So yeah, this is kind of taking the piss out of the rest of the X books, and that's kind of an interesting thing to see.
Yeah.
But my number 3 this week is going to be Batman the Detective, number 4. Tom Taylor is doing the best Bat stuff right now, and this is definitely the best Bruce Wayne Batman book going on right now. It's fun watching like Batman, like, use the situation to his advantage, right? Where he's like being interrogated, but he's using that as a way to like find out information that he couldn't have gotten otherwise.
Oh, like Black Widow.
Kind of, yeah.
Avengers. Cool. That's fun.
There's also a cute touch where like a mobile bat cave shows up, and Alfred apparently had stocked it with like a T-Rex and a penny, so that Batman would like have like a
feel at home.
And it actually made like a little like smirk come up on Bruce's face, and honestly, it was a cute moment. So. That's a rare thing in these Bat books, so I appreciated it.
Tom Taylor's always got a little pinch of heart in everything he writes. You know what I mean? Everything. A good choice. That was your number 3?
That was my number 3.
Again, I'm up. Pretty light week. Ninjak was okay. Lemire on Silver Coin number 4 was kind of the worst of the series so far.
That's weird.
Alien Aftermath was okay, but they introduced like a new xenomorph, and who needs that? We don't need that.
Yeah, but
xenomorphs are scary enough. Damn it.
Well, they've always introduced new xenomorphs.
It's stupid. I'm saying it again. It's dumb. But yeah, I'll go Way of X number 4. Cy Spurrier.
That's also my number 3.
Yeah, I mean, it's a solid issue.
This was by far the best of the X stuff this week, and yeah, my favorite stuff was the Legion Xavier stuff going on.
I love Zorn, and now we know why they're there. They're there to kill Legion if he goes crazy. It's just rad. I think that's just so fun. Some great.
It definitely is, yeah.
Oh yeah.
But we have Onslaught, killing everybody in this room.
Yeah.
Well, Legion and the Zorn twins killed everybody in that room.
Well, yes.
But hey, that's what happens. Trying to prove a point, dude. Come on. But I didn't get the image of Dust. There's this great image of Dust, like her face showing up, kind of like in The Mummy with Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
Like the dude's face showed up in the dust.
shows up in the dust.
Yeah, she was doing that. It was really rad. But yeah, then, and this is really why it's my number 3, just because a couple of really cool fucking things happened. And it was such a shit week for comics. But yeah, he put a seed in his head, so now anybody can just go into Legion's mind. Dude, what? That sounds like not a great idea to go into Legion's mind. There's already a lot of people in there, from what I hear.
Yeah,
it's not to let people in. It's to let somebody out.
Oh, is that what he's doing?
I don't know. I'm just speculating.
What he was saying was like he's making a refuge, so it does sound like it's a place where people can go in.
Yeah, that's what I took from it.
But Legion has been my favorite part of this book. Cy Spurrier, I think, has a good finger on the pulse for this character.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I agree. All right, Adam. Honorable mentions, real quick.
So I'll do some honorable
unless
mentions.
You have something else about Way of X you want to.
No, I got nothing else about Way of X, but a couple honorable mentions, real quick. I'm gonna mention the Action Comics annual, not because it was really good, but just because it continues the wonderful trend.
Action or Flash?
It's Action. There was an Action and a Flash annual.
Oh, what? That's dumb. That's so stupid. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But not because the Action annual was. I mean, it was okay, but it wasn't that great. But it continues the trend of John being the worst Superman of all time. So apparently, this story takes place in the future, and there's a whole huge extended family of Superman people. And the grandson, Brandon Kent, who is John's son, he is Superman now. And John, apparently, he kills Darkseid and he kills Highfather. And he kind of becomes like an amalgamation of the two. And he kind of seems like, what's his name? Vulcan from the Summers family, from X-Men.
Yeah.
You know, just like a...
You showed up in X-Port.
Yeah, just like a despotic space empire emperor dude.
Oh, that sounds so rad, dude.
He really is the worst Superman, though.
I love that. And everyone's like, oh, man, especially nowadays, can we stop having versions of terrible, evil Superman? And I'm like, no, fuck you. I want more evil Superman. He's great. I love evil Superman.
I'm with the other people on that one. I'm kind of over evil Superman at this point.
I love evil Superman. He's
I don't know,
awesome.
but I just think it's funny that they just keep shitting on John. But then my other honorable mention is Infinite Frontier #2. You know, it's a well-written series with some good art, with some characters that I am interested in. I mean, it's messing around with the JSA characters. Roy Harper is a Black Lantern. But the problem is it's just the same old shit that I've read over and over and over again. So I can't really recommend it. But it's okay. It's well done. It's well done. Is it leading
to something? Is it leading to, like... Everything's leading to Future State, no? Or is this going to stop Future State? It feels like
it's leading to just like another Darkseid showing up, an Darkseid invasion or whatnot. I don't know, but Captain Atom blows up at the end. There's a cool thing.
I saw pages of that.
There's a cool thing. Rad. There's a cool thing in it where they find Captain Atom, but they're like, but Captain Atom in our universe is dead. So who are you? And he's like, you caught me. I'm actually a Captain Atom from a different universe. I just took over his life, and I'm just living here because I want a clean break. And then they find him, and he's like, well, screw this, and he just blows himself up.
Oh, wow.
Because he knows Darkseid's coming, because Darkseid's always coming.
Of course. Darkseid is.
Much always, like Winter.
Always doing something.
Yeah. But,
so your number 3 was again...
Way of X.
Yeah. Solid moments. That was really it for me, you know. I really just like the moments. And good art, so... Good choice. Big D.
All right. My number 2 pick is actually going to make you mad.
I bet it won't.
Bad Ideas, The Lot #1.
Oh, yeah. I didn't read this. I don't get Bad Idea stuff.
How dare you?
Yeah, you son of a bitch.
But, it's the story of Evita. She's a young executive who's been put in charge of a division of a movie studio, and she's going through the assets, and she discovers a shuttered film lot. And basically it turns out that this film lot is cursed. 50 years ago, there was a deal with the devil made, and certain players in Hollywood were there, and now they are trying to interfere with her restarting and unshuttering this lot.
Well, wouldn't they want the lot to be open, the demons?
Not the demons, the people who made the deal with the demons.
The demons do want it open.
Probably. The demons want it open.
Sure, why not? Make some movies.
But for the cost of fame and fortune, you sold your soul to these demons, but you shuttered
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, Marguerite Bennett is the author or writer on this.
Yeah.
It's a great little black and white book.
I don't like that they're doing that. I don't like just black and white books. AWA did that with... what the hell was it? Some book they had last week or the week
Redemption?
Before. Yeah, I don't remember. But no, it had Moths.
Moths came out this week.
But that's black and white too, right? I don't fucking remember. Anyway.
Sorry.
Good choice. Yeah. But that's not AWA. That's Bad Idea, right?
This is bad idea. A lot, yes.
Yeah, the other book I was talking about is, I think, AWA. Maybe Ahoy. There's too many fucking publishers now. It's fucking golden age again. Taylor.
Golden age of independence.
Okay, my number 2 this week is actually going to be the Flash Annual.
Hey, that's my number 2.
Nice.
Yeah. This is the conclusion of that Wally West story that we've been mentioning intermittently.
This is the retcon of Heroes in Crisis.
It is.
Man, I don't like that.
Okay, I feel somewhat conflicted about it because I don't, principle, I don't like them tweaking stuff that other writers did. But they have been shitting on Wally West for a fucking decade now. So
At least.
Yeah, so I'm with you. So like I don't like shitty retcons of things to happen, but that said, as far as shitty retcons of past events, this is a pretty good shitty retcon.
So
they address the event, they move beyond it. This guy has taken one story arc to retcon this one thing, and this is really great for me because I've been dealing with Nick Spencer on Spider-Man, who has been spending an entire 100-issue run trying to retcon One More Day. This guy just retcons Heroes in Crisis in one issue. It's fantastic. But so what the retcon is you remember what's his name? Savitar is
Yeah.
So Savitar he got blinked out of existence whenever Barry showed back up in Flash Rebirth.
Yeah,
it was just Rebirth. It was just Rebirth.
Way back. No, it was Flash.
It was Flash Rebirth because there's also
way back before,
like a decade ago.
Because he left and then Rebirth.
When they brought Barry back after Final Crisis.
Barry after Final Crisis.
Barry became the Black Flash for a minute, and he killed a bunch of other speedsters.
He killed Savitar. Yeah,
I remember that. Okay.
Right. Well, Savitar
Wally comes and goes like a fucking pizza man. You know, it's
right. Well, Savitar was apparently in prison inside the Speed Force. He manages to get out, and he starts sucking on the Speed Force like a Speed Force vampire or whatever. Yeah. And so the Speed Force, in order to expel him,
is that why Wally's been jumping around?
Getting it.
Yeah, that's
so
why
the Speed Force, in order to expel him, has been creating these Speed Force explosions, trying to shoot Savitar out.
Oh, cool!
And one of these explosions was the explosion that killed everybody at Heroes in Crisis. And the Speed Force
that's actually pretty good. That's not bad.
Yes, and the Speed Force is making Wally go through all of these moments and times where these explosions happen to help the Speed Force expel Savitar or whatever it is.
All right. That actually works because it
works.
Because the biggest thing, the biggest positive that came out of Heroes in Crisis, besides that amazing art, was it was dealing with mental illness. You know what I mean? So that can still work. You know what I mean? The mental illness angle of Heroes in Crisis doesn't necessarily go away just because the bad thing that Wally did for his, hitting rock bottom still happened, and he still addressed, his problems. It just wasn't his, rock bottom.
Yeah. And in fact, that's something else they did good with the issue. They did not retcon away all the people who died. They still died. And in fact, Roy Harper gets to have a pretty touching moment where he is made aware that Barry and Ollie and Mr. Terrific are watching from the future, and so he's able to talk to Ollie through Wally, and he gets to say his goodbye, and it's actually very well done.
It's very touching.
Oh, that's cool.
That's the best thing about this book is it is dealing with all of these big story retcons or whatever, but the actual character interactions are very well written. It has a lot of heart to it. So man, DC was really Roy Harper heavy this week. He was in this book. He was in Infinite Frontier.
But one last thing, I guess, about this Flash issue is I did like the end of it where Wally got to have his fucking I'm a badass moment where he's he gets repowered and he says to Savitar, I'm going to give you a 3-second head start. See if you can get away from me. And he just chases him down in an instant and just fucking Kamehameha him with the Speed Force or whatever.
Yeah. Wally is full on. He's not retiring anymore. He is now fully the Flash again. Yeah. And I'm excited for the next issue because the next issue feels like it will be the real first issue for this guy's run on the Flash.
Because now that he's done.
Now that he's done sweeping all the shit under the rug, you know.
It's fucking Wally #1 now, right?
I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely going to stick around for this this book moving forward.
Well, why the hell wouldn't y'all? Y'all love Wally.
This whole story arc was basically the Wally West is the best Flash canonically story arc, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it continuing.
That's awesome. Cool. #2 for me, I went with haha #6. Again, it was kind of a light week in terms of quality. This wraps this series. W. Maxwell Prince, Martin Marazzo, Crystal Halloran. This whole series is like sort of all too real sort of, you know, themes. It's kind of surrealist, sad clown sort of thing. This ish does tie directly to Ice Cream Man, the other sort of, you know, series of one shots that W. Maxwell Prince does that deals with absurdist, realist, crazy comedy. You know, here's the Ice Cream Man here in his skull. And a lot of these characters were from earlier in the series, but Save Jerry from, I think it's been nominated for an Eisner now, the Save Jerry issue, which was kind of all about, you know, depression and taking care of yourself, you know, mentally. And that's, I mean, you see it right here. A clown commits suicide in sequential art in the first and last page of this issue. And that's really what all of it is. It's like this, you almost kind of feel bad reading it. You know what I mean? Because it's hit so heavy. But it's all wrapped around this nonsense and absurdity, which, you know, it's kind of like taking medicine with a chocolate, you know, shell. So, haha, #6. Great series. Pick up the trade. It should be out next month, probably. Adam's #2 was Flash, the aforementioned Flash. So, Dave, we're up to numero uno.
Black Hammer Visions #6.
I didn't like this at all.
I thought it was great.
I didn't like this at all.
Cthulhu was.
They've really been like sticking to the pattern today. Like David says his pick, Gomer shits all
like,
over
fuck
it.
you and your pick. Yeah. I don't like Cthulhu. I didn't like Cthulhuese either. It was dumb.
But essentially,
it's a character. It's Cthulhu's daughter, Cthulhuese.
Yes, but this deals with Cthulhu.
Yes, Cthulhu. He died at some point, and his daughter took over for him.
But this takes place before she's born. Weird. But essentially, the elder gods have the stars have aligned. The elder gods want to come to Earth, and Cthulhu is basically like, "Nah, I'm having a beer."
Yeah.
You can go.
He's
you can
go
like
a Hellboy kind of character.
He is kind of very Hellboyish, but you know the elder gods essentially turn to their human worshippers to build the machine to make dreams flesh. Yeah. And Cthulhu is like, not today, and he goes in there and he starts taking the machine apart. Yeah. And they're like, now it's going to be another couple millennia before the little stars align again.
It had this absurdist sort of Bronze Age comedy comic feel to it. It worked.
I loved it. I love the cameo by the Ramones.
Yeah, the cameo by the Ramones.
So
good choice. Man, do we all have the same number? No, there's no way. Taylor.
I bet you guys don't have mine because mine's actually a graphic novel this week because
I know you don't have mine because you don't read mine.
Yep.
Oh,
but
awesome.
I took your guys' advice and I got History of the Marvel Universe.
How about it? It's fucking rad.
It's a love letter to the Marvel Universe, and it's just spectacular. Like I can open up to like any random page, and you get like these amazing panel layouts. Like
I can go full screen.
Like I really like this one where it's like like different characters like cut across the different vertical columns there and everything. Oh, we're zooming in. I mean, okay.
Well, you were showing books. Yeah,
you were doing show and tell. Yeah,
I mean, it's just wonderful design on every single page. Dude.
Yeah, and none of them are alike.
It's kind of by necessity.
Yeah, like every single one of them is different. You get a different experience on every single page, and like they're all bright and colorful, and like has really great narration attached to it and everything. I also love the framing device where this is Galactus and Franklin Richards at the end of creation. You know, talking about their, past adventures.
Yeah, well, really talking about the title, the history of the universe.
I like the part where like he finally got around to me. Okay, yeah, I was waiting for that.
Yeah,
like Galactus is like talking to Franklin.
And then it wraps up with this perfect symmetry. It teases a lot of what's going on now. It talks about what's going to happen on Krakoa, which was fucking spoiled by this book, basically with Inferno, but not really. My favorite part is it changes the whole Vietnam War thing without taking away any of that, historical writing that happened during that conflict. At Marvel Comics, Marvel Comics was an inherent piece of all of the shit that was going on in the 60s. But yeah, dude, it was fantastic trade, dude. I'm so glad you picked it up. And the annotations where you can go back and read where that shit happens is really cool. Yeah. It's got annotations. It tells you exactly where the thing that they're touched on happened in, the Marvel Universe. I like how it transitions to 2099. And then I like how it transitions to shit that may or may not happen years from. They talked about Emma Frost and Tony Stark getting married.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. How would that fucking happen?
You can tell both from the writing and art perspective that this was a labor of love. And anyone who's ever been a fan of any Marvel books, you probably would have a good time picking it up.
You know what it reminds me of, and this is going to sound weird? The Notebook.
I can see it. See,
it took you a second. It did. It took you a second, but yeah, it really
very vaguely. Yeah, there's a
no, dude. It's literally a guy
Galactus and Franklin
telling a
kissing
story
in the
to
rain.
his best friend, and then at the end, the best friend's like, "Oh yeah, I do remember this. Oh my gosh, I'm Galactus." That's what happens.
So is Franklin or Galactus Ryan Gosling?
Yeah,
Ryan Gosling is Galactus. I actually think we can say.
Yeah, dude, great choice. That's so cool. I think that's the first trade that we've had as a weekly pick. So I couldn't put it down, man. When I had my issues, I reread them actually. I just wanted to sort of thumb through them to see where they were, but yeah, I couldn't put it down after I started. So yeah, cool. Oh, is it me number 1?
Yeah, man.
X Corp number 3. Teeny Howard, Valentine DeLandro.
This was okay.
Let me tell you about Valentine.
This was kind of boring.
It just had some. It had some really cool magic stuff, which I can tell.
My shit.
Which is why you picked it as one.
Jam.
Yeah, I know why you picked it as number 1. But I'm with Taylor. This issue was boring as shit.
I love this shit.
I'm sorry, I didn't read this.
The memorable moment in here was Jamie missing his child's first steps because he's an asshole.
No, because his dupes don't know how to do shit right. Anyway,
because he's an asshole.
All right, this had a lot of other sort of angles for me to why it was number 1. All right, Alberto Foce is the main artist on this series, okay? But Valentine DeLandro stood in on this issue. He was also not the main artist, but the fill-in artist for Peter David's X Factor run, which is what first, made me Madrox so appealing to me. So this being a Madrox-centered book and this great artist from, that history of the character coming back was really cool. So again, my favorite part of the entire new status quo at X-Men has been the way these individual series have been able to explore different aspects of life and morality. And
you're right. You're right.
Way of X is doing it with religion. This is doing it with capitalism and corporatism.
You're right. You're right. One of the big strong points about the new X, thing is that it is filling in a lot of the gaps that we didn't normally get filled in before. But you know what? This series has taught me that some of those gaps are just boring as shit and probably don't really need to be
I love
filled
this character-driven
As
shit.
much as I love kind of the whole meta of all the, like Adam was saying, all the different aspects of a mutant society.
Yeah,
it still needs to be an interesting issue to read, and this wasn't that.
I had
only the magic stuff was interesting, and that was probably about 5 pages out of this entire issue.
It was more than that. I got 3 of them right here.
It was that, and then you have the 2 pages. Yeah, you have this, and then you have the page where the dupe dies.
Yeah,
but something that kind of bothers me about this book, kind of in a meta sense. Who gives a shit about them doing this ionosphere thing right now? They just terraformed Mars.
I know. I said the same fucking shit about the fucking treehouse in X-Men last week, and you said I was wrong.
That had like a beautiful layout. That was a cool base. The actual premise of the book is them trying to shock the world with like their amazing shit, and they just did something that's way more impressive than anything they're going to do in this book.
Maybe I love
that's an entirely different situation, man.
You're not wrong. I do like them, still having a bunch of mutants getting together, using their powers together.
Oh, and that also is like, couldn't Vulcan just do this by himself? I mean, he's he has like unlimited control of this.
Perhaps, yes. He actually comes out like with a bunch of more swagger than everybody else once it's all done. But I love this moment at the end when Madrox fucks up. There's a deeper thing here where Madrox is like, he's working so hard, he's so dedicated to his job that he's letting his family, sort of go by the wayside. I love that. I think we can all relate. So, fuck you guys. That's my number one.
I like how the shoe is on the other foot here for once. We're like you've been dumping on poor David.
You were shitting on David all podcast. When we get to
you
number
guys
one.
are right. I was shitting on David. Now I'm like, whatever, guys.
Front against your X-Corp number 3 pick.
David defended the hell out of his books. I'm just like, whatever. You guys are wrong. Damn it. All right, number one. Adam Normal, I think you're rapping it, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm rapping it. My number one is The Joker number 5.
Oh, geez, I'm sick of hearing about this book. I just need to read it.
This one is different. This one has a fill-in team, fill-in writer Matthew Rosenberg, fill-in artist Francisco Francavilla, which if anybody knows him, he does all the noir shit, He
does a bunch of great covers, man.
Bunch of great covers.
The horror covers he did for the Archie horror stuff is so damn good.
The stuff from Afterlife from Archie and all that.
Yes.
Yeah, those are good.
So this issue takes place during the past, back when Jim Gordon's still a police captain.
So it will have that noir feel to it. It has a noir story.
Yeah, it's a very noir story to it. And basically what this whole issue is about is it's exploring Jim Gordon's obsession with the Joker.
Oh, cool. Sort of flipping the script.
Right. So the Joker, has always been seen as being obsessed with Batman, and this is kind of showing how Jim Gordon really took the Joker seriously in the very beginning when nobody else did, but almost to an obsessive behavior. And that really is what caused a lot of the downfalls with Gordon personally, especially with his relationships with his wife and stuff in this.
Oh,
and so, there's a whole thing where he and his wife have an anniversary dinner planned and all that tonight, where Jim Gordon's supposed to go. But Jim Gordon, it's his day off. He knows he shouldn't be going in, but he knows that the Joker is going to break out of Arkham. This is right after they catch the Joker the very first time, and they put him in Arkham. And everybody just believes that he's just another crazy guy. But Arkham's fine. He's not going to get out. But Gordon's like, no, this guy is going to get out.
Nice.
So the whole issue is Gordon literally, he pulls up a chair in front of the Joker's cell, and he just sits there all night talking to the Joker instead of going home on his day off like he's supposed to have dinner with his wife and his kid, leaving them alone. And when he gets there the next day, they're gone.
Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, kind of. A little bit. I don't know. It's just a very good, nice... I've just been enjoying this character study of Jim Gordon this Joker book has turned out to be.
Man.
That sounds pretty cool, actually.
No shit, Dave. Man, this motherfucker gonna make me pick up this damn Joker book. And I'll be like, man, the Batman book sucks, but you know what you should be picking up? The Joker book.
This should be the Detective Comics book.
I haven't heard anybody talking about that book.
Because it's just okay.
Are you reading it?
Yeah, it's got great art.
I'm not reading it. I kind of feel bad not picking up any Batman. I know DC is all just a big squad of Bat, but...
Batman's gotten to the point where, kind of like what Spider-Man was for me a few years ago. Just pick one and stick with that. You don't need to be trying to spread out and everything.
I've done that, but now, I'm picking up Nightwing. Does Nightwing count?
I'd say so, sure.
I'm picking up at least one Batman book.
It's at least Batman adjacent.
Yeah, it's Batman. Yeah, it's in the neighborhood. It's in Gotham. Yeah. It's not even. It's in whatever the fuck.
Bloodhaven is
land.
Bloodhaven is a.
It's like a borough, a neighborhood.
Borough, yeah.
Like Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah, kind of.
Like an area. Like Washington Heights. Go to OurGeeker.com. Check out all the stuff we do there. We have a lot of shit going on. We'll do the preview show tomorrow. Comic Book Bullies will be on later tonight.
Woo-hoo.
Big Willie, I'm pretty sure, is still streaming on this channel. I haven't talked to him in a while. He's busy all the time, and me too. But what else is going on? Nothing. Thanks everybody for listening. We really appreciate it.
We're super excited.
Oh yeah, but most of all, thanks to these 3 jokers for hanging out with this joker.
Anytime, man.
We'll do it again next time.
Same geek time, same geek channel.
What a world! What a world! What a world!
Oh, by the way.
Oh, here he goes.
That name of that character Richard Pryor played in The Wiz is Herman Smith.
That's right, Richard Pryor.